In Montreal, the Égides Foundation works to advance LGBTQ rights among French-speaking countries. The group's executive director, Michael Arnaud, says that Francophone groups are left out of funding opportunities, and they have different needs than their English-speaking peers.
What the international LGBTQI movement receives already is very small. It's about $500 million every 2 years, according to the numbers. And then you have 1% of this going to French-speaking countries. Quebec has decided to support the creation of Égides because this long identified need that was expressed during a conference in Montreal by Francophone activists from around the world.
In Cameroon, HIV clinics take on LGBTQ activism as a side project to providing medical services. Patrick Fotso is the head of All Condom Cameroon, a group that would like to do more advocacy but finds the funding is often not available for French speakers in his region.
Here in Cameroon, there are a few big donors like the Global Fund, but there's not much else. Meanwhile, on the Anglophone side, there are many possibilities. Most of the calls for funding that come through, from what I can see, are restricted to certain countries. They restrict those offers to certain places.
George Lafon helps run Working for Our Well-Being, a group that serves LGBTQ people in Cameroon's English-speaking minority. He sees a difference in how much funding is available for French-speaking groups compared to English-speaking ones like his.
It's very easy for English-speaking countries to have funding, and it's kind of difficult for French-speaking countries to have funding. Because when you look, for example, most calls that come for calls for funding, they're mostly in English. And at times they do specify that your project should be submitted in English language. You will rarely see French language or Arabic or other languages too.
He also says that the country's Anglophone and Francophone communities face different issues, but funding sometimes only aligns to the needs of one of those groups.
An English person is a conservative. They're more attached to their culture, to their traditions, to their foundations, and to their values. They do value family a lot, and they tend to put more importance in these things. But a French person, it's more of let's be, and that is why you see that these two existential problems are in the society. English-speaking persons, LGBT persons in particular, do face a lot of violence as compared to French-speaking persons.
Arnaud says those differences stem from colonization. He says activists in French-speaking countries deal with challenges around freedom of speech and assembly, while those in English-speaking places often deal with arrests.
Most laws criminalizing same-sex relationships and diverse gender identities and everything were inherited from the British Empire, and we don't see this kind of laws, at least in general. The French Empire has not left this kind of heritage. So I do think that probably the communities in English-speaking countries, especially in the sub-Saharan African region, has had to mobilize and organize much earlier than in the French-speaking countries.